Hey you guys, so here's the torque wrench that I'm using. I usually set it at 100 pounds for the axle nut. It's a 90. I set it at 100, just so. Here's my chain. It's the original chain that came with the bike, 03 Gsxr 1000. Slack is not that bad, but I can still fix it a little bit. So I'm going to show you how we do it. I'm going to hand it over to my friend Jay here. There you go, Jay.
Are you going to measure the slack or no?
On that?
Yeah.
No, not right now, because I already see it. The guy told me it's a little too much. You see that? He's like, it should be a little bit tighter. So once I'm done tightening it, then I will measure it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
How far are you gonna put it? How can you put it back any further?
What? Yeah, I can put it back. Yeah. I'm gonna do quarter turn on the nut, these adjustment nuts. You do
okay.
Quarter ton, because a quarter ton makes a big difference on this. And you don't want the chain to be too tight, because then the suspension will lose a flex. Yeah. And then your chain is gonna break too on top of that.
Is this going? Is this?
What's that?
Is this recording?
Yeah.
They don't see the image.
See the button? Yeah.
Oh, it's still going? Oh, yeah.
Still going, yeah. See, we're amateurs, guys, so don't laugh at us, all right? Okay, once the axle nut is loose, and you don't have to take it off, you just loosen it a bit so the adjusters can move. Feels safer this way. There you go. Like about so. So these chain adjusters can move freely back and forth. You don't have to take off the nut at all. There you go, that's good enough. Alright. Now, here's the fun part. There you go. So the small screw on this 03 Gsxr 1000 is 10 millimeter, and this back screw is 12 millimeter. The way you do it is you stick it in, and then you try to basically loosen the nut, this one back one. Okay, there you go. Either way you figured out which way it is, but there you go. Once it's loosened just a bit, that's good enough. And you do adjustments with this nut. This is the solid nut right there. Quarter ton, whatever adjustment you do it right there. Same thing over here. Hold this one in place. And you basically loosen that. Once it loosened, just move that nut a little bit. There you go. Now what you do is, with this one, you loosen it, I think. Right? Yeah, you loosen it. That way. Make sure that the block is moving further. There's markings right there. Let them see these markings. That are a rough indicator. They're not the exact way to measure it, but I will show you how. So that's about like a quarter ton right there. I will stick with that. On this side, also I will do a quarter ton. Actually, this way. Make sure that's pushing on the block. There you go. About a quarter ton, right? So it's there. The exact measurement, actually, you need the ruler for that.
You gotta be exactly the same, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, your view will be crooked. You don't want that. So this is basically, you take my ruler in centimeters, whatever. And I put it in over here. And you press it flush against this adjustment block. And then you just see how much you have. Actually, let me get it. So, this one is how much? It's a little bit right there. You don't need the exact measurement, just keep it in your head, whatever it is, closest to it. And then you measure it the same way on this side. shit. My life. You know what? I'll loosen it a little bit more so I can use the centimeters. Sorry for the language. That's just frustration. Okay. Can I use the centimeter one now? Yeah, I can. About 4 centimeters from the start. This one needs to be loosened a bit. Centimeters. So for temporarily, just lock it in place like that. Same thing the other side with your finger holding the screw. Just twist it onto the body, the frame, the subframe, the other screw, and then just come here. Let's see what the slack is on this chain now. Yeah, I cleaned my chain, guys. The way it works is I like to go to the master link. I think that's what that is called. So it gives me a good reference point. Whereas that's the master link right there. And it's a different color, so it's easier to read. So I'm going to keep it right here. My master link is like a little bit below 4 centimeters. Bring it down. This is 5.5. Bring it up, and this is 2. So 2 and 5.5. That's a 3.5 centimeter difference in that. This is 20 to 30 millimeters on the manual. So I'm going to make it a little bit more tight.
Was it 2.5 centimeters? 3.5 centimeters, you said?
3.5 centimeters, so I need like half a centimeter more. Okay, let's see now.
Oh shit, you alright?
Yeah. Fucking idiot. Yeah, I know I'm an idiot. Okay, this is a 5. A little bit less than 2. Well, actually, yeah, 2.5 and 2. There you go, a little bit less than 2. So I feel comfortable.
So 3 centimeters. That's
30 centimeters. I feel comfortable at that.
Yeah, perfect. 30 millimeters.
That's it. 30 millimeters. Let me see where I am at this. I'll lock this in real quick. A little bit less than 4. A little bit more between that. So this looks like close to 4 millimeters, a little bit less than 4 millimeters, between 3 and 4 millimeters on this side. This better be between 3 and 4 millimeters on this side. Let's see what this is. Yeah, this is between 3 and 4 millimeters too. So
now you tighten them.
we tighten it now. I'm going to hold this in place. Make sure this is good. And just tighten it. There you go. It's nice and snug. This one. Now, once you tighten it, it's very important that you check it again because you might have messed up the nuts when you're twisting it. Take a rough indicator off the marks. See what it looks like on that side. Pretty close. I'll verify it with the little ruler that we have here. Four-ish. Is this four-ish now? Please, four-ish. I don't think that's putting in too much work. This is a little bit less than 4. My ruler right? A little bit. So I'm going to bring this in a bit. There you go. Now the key is if you want to push it in, you get back here and you kick the wheel in. That's why make sure that your bike is very secure on that stand. That should do it. Now measure it again. I know this part takes time, but it's very important to take your time with this, because this stuff is very important. Four-ish. And that's 4 millimeters. I bet. Just to let you know. Got a tiny little bit twitch on this side. Oh, a little bit less than 4. A little bit less than 4 means this is going to be. I'm pretty sure 1 millimeter doesn't make a difference, but
you want to make it perfect.
Exactly, I'm a perfectionist. I'm pretty anal about it. There you go. That's nice. You can get special chain adjusting blocks with readings on them and everything. Pretty fancy. I think they go anywhere from 200 to 350 bucks. You get them online. A lot of race teams have those. A lot of flashy guys have those, but hey, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you don't need that.
I don't need that. Tight, verified. Always check that they're tight, because if they're loose, even a bit, and comes loose on you, you don't want to mess with that. Chain will probably get a little bit of slack or too much, you never know when you're on the road. So double check, triple check your bike, make sure everything's nice and tight. This is tight. Now the important part, how to tighten the axle nut. When you're tightening the axle nut, they say put a screwdriver in it or whatever you got. I have this little thing right here. I'm going to stick it in between the chain, just like that. Take a shot of that, Jay. Just like that. So my wheel stays put. Tightening it, then you face the opposite way. Whichever way you're turning this, make sure that your force is going down and not up, so the bike doesn't come off the stand. Tighten it. There you go. Okay. Not too tight, because you do have a torque wrench. Tighten it. This is 100. Tighten it. fixed it right there. But I have to get the cotter pin in, so I'm gonna back off a bit. So just make sure I can get the pin through. Jay's bike doesn't have a cotter pin. You cannot put one in there.
Axle nut, it says 137 foot-pounds.
For you?
Yeah.
For me it says 90 pounds, so I'm set at 100. Also I use a cotter pin, you don't use a cotter pin, maybe that's why.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they say you should not use the same old cotter pin. I don't give a shit, it's working, it's working, it's not going anywhere.
I don't give a shit about it.
I'm too lazy, I have new ones inside, but it's a fucking pin. 100 pounds of fucking pressure, this bike is not going anywhere.
Do you torque wrench the lock nuts? It's supposed to be 12 foot-pounds, or it doesn't matter if it's more than that?
Which lock nuts? These little ones?
Yeah.
No, well they're snug, fuck it. I just fucking get a torque wrench for that shit. Come on, I mean don't go fucking gorilla on that shit, you know, take it easy. Take it easy with that, you know, like it's, the smaller the nut, the more gentler you gotta be. The bigger the nut, well hey, I don't wanna sound dirty, bud. That's good enough. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not going nowhere.
That's it. Another thing, I used to have it facing this way before, but I like facing it back in case you have a pretty girl sitting behind you and
Stab her leg.
basically she will scrape her pretty leg and then she's not going to be happy. So let's measure the chain slack once more. Don't forget to take this out though.
Don't forget to take your screwdriver out.
Yeah, whatever that thing that you used. Let's measure the chain slack, 20 to 30 millimeters. Let's do it here. Halfway this way, right?
Yeah, halfway. Yeah.
3.5 to 2, 1.5, maybe 20. Maybe I was right here before, right? So about 4-ish, right? Yeah, okay, so 5, 2. In between 25 to maybe 30 millimeters. Alright, so we're going to pause the video now and we're going to get some spools for Jay. I'm going to try mine first, but I don't think my spool's going to fit because mine's are I think 8 millimeter and his are probably 6. So we're going to go to Cycle Gear in the Gsxr and get some spools, yeah?
Yep.
Alright, my hands are dirty.